Hi everyone, and welcome to Detox Part 3 at Free Range Diva. I am so glad that you have come back for the third in my series on spring detoxing. And before I get started, I want to quickly address a couple of questions that I had after Part 2, specifically on sources for spirulina. And thanks to a viewer, hi Julie, who left me a comment with her favorite source of spirulina. I checked it out and I have a great recommendation for you. It's the Spirulina Pacifica by Nutrex Hawaii. And I did a little research, and Nutrex Hawaii is a great company. Their spirulina is incredibly clean. They have that biosecure zone thing happening, and they make several supplements, so I can wholeheartedly recommend them. And they're easy to find. I mean, they're in, like your Vitacost, Lucky Vitamin, Sprouts, Whole Foods, Amazon even. So Nutrex Hawaii, spirulina. And then I have another recommendation from California. It's grown here in California, and it's called Zhou, Z-H-O-U Nutrition. And again, they grow their spirulina out in the Sonoran Desert, away from highways and pollution and, everything. So that's two recommendations that I have for you, and I will link more information about both of those below. So today I've got a lot of things that you can do quickly, easily, cheaply around your home to detox it. And I've also got a couple of things that are a little more involved, but I think they're very important. So I'm going to give you a minute to pause this video and go and get your pen and paper, because you're going to need it. I'm going to throw a lot of stuff at you really fast. So go ahead, pause me. I can wait. Okay, are we back? Good. So number one is leave your shoes at the front door when you come in from outside. This is something that when I lived alone, I was very, very good about doing that, because you're tracking into your house everything that you've walked in while you've been, outside doing your thing all day. So some people leave their shoes just outside the door. You can leave it, on a landing inside, just inside. But just take off those shoes, put on house shoes or barefoot. I love barefoot. And like I said, this was something that I was really, really good about doing. But in my current living situation, I have a dog and a mother. So yes, I do try and, remove my shoes when I come in. But, between those two, there's only so much you can do. But if you can leave your shoes at the front door, then please, by all means, start getting in the habit of doing that. Number two, air out your home regularly. Throw open your windows and your doors and let a cross breeze start blowing through your house. Even if you live in a city where, your air quality is not the greatest, the air quality inside your home is much, much worse than the air quality outside, no matter how much pollution you're dealing with, because there's so many things in your home that are off-gassing that you can't do anything about except to freshen up the air inside your home. So that will help dissipate a lot of VOCs that are off-gassing from your cabinetry and your carpets and things like that. So even if you can only do it for like 20 minutes to an hour a day, get some fresh air blowing through the house. It'll definitely help knock down a lot of those indoor pollutants. Number three, paint. When you're painting your house or you're doing a DIY paint project, make sure that you're using low VOC or no VOC paint. It's very easy to find. Most paint stores have varieties of paint that is low or no VOC. Just ask your paint supplier to point you in the direction of the no VOC or low VOC base paint. And it's probably the same, it costs the same amount as your regular, paint. So it's not even, any more expensive to keep your walls from off-gassing. Got paraffin candles around? Just throw them out. Replace them with a much greener alternative like soy candles, because the paraffin ones, that paraffin wax, again, as it burns, it puts a lot of toxic chemicals into your air and then you breathe it in. Next, I don't know what number we're on. I think we're on 5 maybe. I don't know. I don't know what number we're on. But next, when you get your clothes from the dry cleaners, hang them either outside or in a garage overnight before you bring them in the house, because dry cleaners use a nasty chemical called PERC. I'll put the whole name for it, but that's what they, in the industry, they just call it PERC. Not only does this stuff off-gas VOCs, it's also a carcinogen, and it lingers in your clothing and then off-gases into the air. So air out your clothes before you bring them in the house, you're dry cleaning, or if you can find a green dry cleaner near you, there actually is one in my neighborhood, then by all means support your green dry cleaner. And this is probably, if you're a coffee drinker and you take nothing else away from this video, then please take this. Get rid of your bleached coffee filters and replace them with unbleached. The bleach leaves a residue behind, and once that residue hits hot water and sits there and steeps like it does when you're brewing coffee, not only does it release toxic gases into the air, but also into your coffee. You can find unbleached filters at any store. Every manufacturer makes them, even like your Melitas and your things like that. Usually though, if you're in a conventional store, you'll see like a whole row of bleached filters and then just a couple of unbleached. But here's what they look like. They're brown, and the box will usually say brown or unbleached coffee filters. So get rid of those white ones, replace them with the unbleached brown ones. Old pillows, the older they are, the more they tend to collect dust mites. And, if you have washable pillows, then, wash them regularly in hot water, which I do. But once your pillows start to, if they don't, like if you fold them over and they stay flat, it's time to get rid of them. In fact, here is my recently washed, here's my pillow, and it fluffs up a little bit when you wash it, but yeah, I actually just bought a new pillow and sorry, I actually just bought a new pillow, so and I'm loving it. It's a My Pillow, and I'll actually, maybe I'll do a review of that for you if you'd like. But yeah, so get rid of your old pillows, or like what I'm doing with mine, I'm using it for back support. And the reason is because you want to get rid of, dust mites. Next, throw out those hand soaps or any antibacterial soap that has an ingredient in it called Triclosan. It's a thyroid disruptor, it's a hormone disruptor, it's a carcinogen, it's nasty. I noticed that the bigger manufacturers of hand soaps now are starting to remove it, but it's still around. So by all means, replace it with a cleaner option that's not antibacterial, which you really don't need anyway to kill germs. I actually read that the simple act of running your hands together like this underwater gets rid of the germs. So just get a gentler hand soap. It's better for you, it's better for the environment. And as long as we're throwing out stuff, if you have any aerosol sprays and pressurized cans, get rid of them. That stuff, when you spray it around your house, and I'm talking hairsprays and air fresheners and things like that, they get into your lungs, and it's toxic chemicals that you're breathing in. This also includes plug-ins, those plug-in air freshener things. Yeah, get rid of those too. And replace them with pump bottle sprayers. Kinder for you, kinder for the ozone layer. So I did a whole video, part 2 on plastic, so we're not going to go into that. Just to remind you to look for your recycling numbers 1, 2, 4, and 5, and get rid of any plastics with the recycling numbers 3, 6, and 7. Which, by the way, you'll notice that I do have a Vitamix, and it does have a plastic carafe. However, I checked, and the recycle number on that is 1. So it's still plastic, but at least it's a better variety of plastic. So those are the quick fixes, and now I want to talk about a couple of things that will help address the house dust issue that I talked about in the last video about phthalates and flame retardants being in your house dust. If you can, use a vacuum cleaner with a HEPA filter. This removes many more toxins than just your average vacuum cleaner, which tends to suck up the dust, and then it kicks it out, the back of the machine. HEPA filters, they suck up the dust and they hold it, and they get much finer particles. They collect much more finer particles than your average vacuum cleaner filter. So if you can, get yourself a vacuum with a HEPA filter. In fact, because of my back issues, vacuuming for me is kind of a no-no. And so I've been looking for one of those, either a Roomba or another one of those electronic vacuum cleaners that you just they have their own station where they recharge, and then you put them on the floor and they do, vacuum your house for you. I'm looking for one of those with the HEPA filter. So if you have one of those, or you have any recommendations for one, please let me know, because I've been doing some shopping and I'm getting really confused. All right, and then regarding upholstery, yes, most of the upholstery in our homes has been treated with flame retardants, particularly the cushion, that foam on the inside of the cushions is really, really bad. So if you have upholstery that's ripped or have any kind of tears in it, make sure that you seal those up. We don't want that foam exposed. Also, when you're buying new furniture, read the labels for to find out if they have any kind of toxic chemicals in them. They have to disclose that kind of stuff, and steer clear from that. And for heaven's sake, don't have your furniture treated with flame retardants or Teflon. Again, because the Teflon in particular just comes right off and you breathe it in. A few years ago, we had to replace some carpeting upstairs in the house, and we went with a vendor that had eco-friendly green carpeting, pads, and the whole 9 yards. So he came and we we made our order, and then the last thing he asked us is, "Do you want Teflon coating on that?" I was like, "No." No, the whole point is we don't want, no sprays of any kind, no flame retardants, no Teflon, nothing. Just give me the carpet. So they did. That's it. So I hope you got something out of this. I'm not going to keep you any longer. Hopefully this won't have gone on too long. Let me just double check to make sure that I got everything that I had listed. And then maybe I'll put a catchy title labeling all the numbers of different things that I actually, these tips, because I lost count like 5 tips ago. Yeah. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoy this and that you got some really good information out of it that you can implement in your own lifestyle. And until I see you again, take care, and see you in my next video. Bye, everybody.